So, I got to play the melody on Nothing But a G Thang. This is a really popular sound from West Coast rap from the 90s. It was used on a lot of Dr. Dre songs, and I made this patch so you can take it from here and incorporate these high melodies in your songs when you like to. And I'll show you how to make it pretty close to this sound, exactly like this sound, but you have to just make sure you dial in the subtleties on your own because different Minimoogs vary. And same thing if you're doing it on a VST, but you can get the sound on any Minimoog, virtual or hardware. So now's a good time to remind you to please like and subscribe to the channel. Do it now. Stop the video. We really need your help. It's something that you can do to give back to us, and it helps us out a lot, and it keeps us going so we can make more of these kinds of videos, which we're enjoying doing a lot. Back to the video. So another 2 oscillator sound on the Minimoog. A lot of Minimoog sounds are 2 oscillator because sometimes you want to use the 3rd oscillator for vibrato, for modulation, so you can get things to happen. This sound doesn't really have any modulation. It's a rare occurrence where you have both oscillators way up to the 2-foot setting. So you see where it says 2 foot. So this knob is turned all the way to the right, and this knob's turned all the way to the right. And I'm using a sawtooth and a square wave. Let's hear what it sounds like with 2 sawtooths. It's a little thinner. It's kind of hard to hear all the harmonics when you're really high up. You're just kind of hearing fundamentals, but I like going with one of each, a square wave and a sawtooth wave. And I crank them in the mixer to take advantage of any Moog harmonic distortion, saturation, which I like a lot. I have the filters tracking just a little bit, so that's just the first switch. On a Minimoog, the first switch is 1/3 of a volt per octave, and the second switch is 2/3 of a volt per octave. So that's a lot brighter. This one's a little more toned down. And if I had no keyboard control voltage, which you could use, on your sounds, you can switch these in and out and get changes in real time without losing the settings of your sound. And then a few more basic things. The filter cutoff frequency is basically controlling the sustain of the sound. And it's open pretty well. I have a little bit of filter contour at this shape. So the shape is a decay time. So if you listen carefully, you'll hear, I'll do the lower note. Without the filter contour, the sound doesn't speak as much, and I give it a little bit of filter contour at this decay rate. And you get a little bit of resonance to the sound. So I have the emphasis up, and with the filter decaying, it's getting duller. So it starts bright. You see the sustain is a little duller. Whereas, again, no amount of contour. It's just kind of a duller sound. It doesn't move. This sound will move. So kind of dial it into your taste. And one thing you'll notice, very unusual for my sounds, you hear that beating? Here's more of it. Usually I'll get a sound in tune. But a little bit of the nuance of this style, it's a G Thang. You need a little bit of chorusing right about in there. So it's almost like vibrato. You hear it? Without it? More static. I know I'm just singing this high note. I'll give you the chorusing. It does help the sound sing, expressively. So it's subtle, right? And it's a rap song, and it's just a little melody, but these little details are in it. And without it, you don't have the character. So it's important to know, don't write these things off, like it's just a rap song and, it's this kind of melody over the top. There's still interesting things going on. And sometimes Minimoog sounds are made just haphazardly. And when you go back and analyze it, you find out there's subtlety going on. Or, in the case of if you watch these videos, you'll know how to make any sound that you hear, and you can go after it and get it spot on and then dial it in the way you like. And that's kind of where I come from. And the way I got there was by emulating patches like this and other classic sounds. Here's something you like, really learn how to make it and do the best you can. If you can't isolate it with the stems, like nowadays there's stems floating around, but listen to the stereo mix and get as close as you can, and you'll learn a lot. The last step is in the VCA, and there's really not a whole lot going on there. I have the sustain level all the way up, and a little bit of decay time. It says 1 second. You don't really hear much going on there because the VCA is just wide open. What else do we have? So there's that. What's that? Here's without that. Here's with that. Sliding, right? On a Minimoog, it's called glide or portamento. And that's important because it's like a slide whistle. You know, you're getting a little, and it's emulating kind of a traditional sound, right? So you have 2 oscillators, so it's like 2 slide whistles, slightly out of tune. No vibrato really, but a little bit of detuning that acts as vibrato in a way, creates chorusing. And what you can do for a trick, since you have the VCA decay time, remember I showed you that it wasn't doing much, but it can be doing a lot if you push the decay button. So now I can get the sound to decay. If I want, at the push of a button. And it doesn't destroy the sound if I want to play it the legit way. 1, 2, off. So it gives you a little bit of performance nuance. So you can get performance nuance with the decay, on-off switch, and with messing around with the keyboard control voltage tracking switches, and obviously by changing decay time in the filter or the brightness. So that covers this sound for the most part. Please visit us at anthonymarinellimusic.com. There's exclusive free content on there, and it will be increasing. And you can visit us there to see more and more things, and we're going to hear from you, hopefully. Looking forward to making more videos. Again, remember to like and subscribe. Nuthin But a G Thang, Dr. Dre. This is a sound that also appeared on a lot of similar types of sounds like this, appeared on other rap albums because people were kind of building on what others did before them. So it's a good way to go out. Let's hit it, Ben, and I'll catch you on the next episode.